crazy story. Just like the others, how am I always involved? I can't explain it. Must be something in the air, or maybe it's just me. Is it me? Is it me? I can't explain. What else can I say?
Welcome back, everyone, to Is It Me? I'm your host, Michelle Forster. We're back for another episode. We've got our recurring guest, Michael Alexander.
Yay.
He's here. He's happy to be here. He's here.
Yeah.
And today's guest, we have Tyler Lemco. So funny, doing tons of cool stuff around Montreal. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Stoked.
I was like, you were on the short list of guests to have because I feel like you're always doing cool, fun production stuff.
Thank you.
How's it been?
The production stuff?
Yeah, the cool, fun production
Yeah, it's
stuff.
going really well.
Hey, be more vague.
It's going really well.
Hey, you
It's
do
fun.
things, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to be myself.
I
Okay,
make
we had talked about it before. You were like, be yourself. Try not to be weird. I'm doing that. Okay.
Yeah. I make stuff.
Yeah, you
Stuff's
make a lot
cool.
of stuff.
I do make a lot of stuff. I do.
How do you balance it?
I don't. I just always make stuff. I have zero balance. I don't rest. And I'm tired all the time. Yeah.
Do you actually have like is that real or was that just for the bit?
What do you mean?
That you'd like never sleep and that you're tired?
Oh, no, I'm always... I'd say
You're always
like,
going?
I'd say like it's tough to quantify work hours because a lot of stuff I do like isn't for my quote unquote job, but it's other stuff I'm working on, other projects, or like if I have any downtime, I paint and go to the art studio. Like I'm always
Wait,
making
paint?
stuff. I would say if I had to put like a number on like number of hours worked per week, it's like over 100 probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like, I feel like same.
Yeah.
So I very much relate to you. How many hours a week do you work, Mike?
Oh, 37.5.
I love it though. I love a good like
Yeah.
8 a.m. to 2 a.m. kind of day. I love that shit.
You
go to
sleep 6 hours only?
I don't sleep enough.
You don't need more than that?
Oh, I do. That's
That's the
therein
problem.
lies
That's the problem. So do you ever crash?
Yeah, I would say like I'm trying this new thing where I wake up at the same time every day because what I used to do is get progressively more and more tired throughout like a 2-week span and then do like a 16-hour sleep. But now I'm trying to even it out a bit more.
Yeah, get your sleep hours like
Yeah.
more
Like a
equally
human.
distributed.
My
yeah.
problem is I find, I don't know about you guys, I work best late at night. Like
Yeah.
if everyone's asleep, that's when I'm most creative. Yeah,
I'm the opposite.
really.
Yeah, but I'm not very creative. My brain works better between like 9:30 and 2
Like AM, yeah.
No,
9:30 a.m. and 2
p.m.
Yeah, because it's like fresh.
Yeah,
out
and
more
then,
out,
and then it like declines as the
After
sun
3.
sets,
Yeah,
and then all I want to do is nap.
yeah.
But that's why I just
Are you? You really aren't that creative. What's
No.
like the most creative thing about you?
well usually like
Why are you laughing?
So many, yeah. Give us creative.
yeah, well like
Well,
Give us
because
one good
who
idea.
says- like I've never heard a creative ever be like, yeah, I work during the hours of
well no
9
like
and
I
2,
really
so-
pride myself on like places I hide my boogers.
That's good. You gotta be creative.
Yeah, because
What's
This is
tell
a hill.
us-
This is a hill Mike's dying on.
Oh, he's brought this up before.
yeah, this is a
Can I don't want to rehash
No,
anything,
no.
but can I ask like what's a good hiding spot?
Well, my dog lately has been really enjoying.
Consider you like hide it under.
No, I just give it to him and he freaks out.
Can you imagine he just was putting it under his belly?
But I think you've seen me walk my dog. Maybe
Yeah. What kind of dog?
it's like a little black cockapoo. Maybe.
I do keep tabs on all the dogs in the neighborhood.
Dude, me too. Actually, this is a new one. Get him out.
Yeah.
What's the most creative thing that you do though?
Most
Would you say cook? I guess you cook.
Yeah, I
You
think
make
it's
creative.
sourdough.
I think cooking is creative. I think jiu-jitsu could be creative.
Absolutely.
I
It's the
think
martial art.
it is an art tech. Fuck yeah, dude.
Ew.
I think creative ways of annoying you is a thing that I pride myself on. Sometimes I'll just message her like, hey, isn't this cause fucking stupid? And then I'll just receive like 14 voice messages and like 8
Explain.
paragraphs where like I'll just be like, hey, like, do you think this outfit looks good on this person? And then I'll be like, I don't need this negativity for, and then
No, this is what you do. You want to get into it? I'm so sorry, Tyler, that you're here to see this.
here for this.
But this is what he does, okay? That's not what you do. You don't message me like, hey, what's your opinion on this? We don't engage in like spirited, healthy debate. Although we did have a nice conversation earlier this morning. We did, but we're not going to bring it up. But we did have a good, but that's not what you do. I post something on Instagram, or I'll repost something of someone who's doing something like advocating for their cause, perhaps maybe in like a virtue signally way, or what could be perceived as a virtue signally
And
way.
then I'll respond with an eye roll
Someone
emoji.
who cares about a cause.
Yeah.
Someone who cares about a cause is doing their best, whatever. And like, let's say I repost it. That's when you like flood my inbox with like.
Oh, I don't flood it. I throw a match.
Says one line
What
and I
Michelle
lose my
does
shit.
is she builds this flammable pile.
Yeah, the kerosene's already there.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I'll literally the last thing that you were upset at me for was started with an eye roll emoji because somebody was very, like.
No, that was the second to last time we had a fight. We had a fight about that. That was our worst fight that I talked about on Tom's episode. That was like me losing my shit in a way that wasn't cool. And then I apologized.
Well, you didn't apologize. You're like, I don't want to.
Absolutely did
You
apologize.
said-
And
you
you
said-
also didn't apologize, and you also gaslight. You're like a king gaslighter, okay? By the way.
Good content.
Yeah, great content. So that was the
She
first
said
one.
she wanted to
Then
be
the
more
second
natural.
one was something you posted. You posted some bullshit that wasn't fact checked, and I came at you.
Ooh.
I don't know what
You
happened
reposted
last.
some weird bullshit, and that was like our last but that
On like a thing, on like an opinion on
just like
something.
reposted some like
Don't drop it.
I'm not gonna say
Okay.
what it was, but
I
you
don't remember.
reposted this like news article, like
Yeah, it was
not
about
recent,
an event or a
not
thing.
recently, not about recent events. Like this was like 2 months ago. You posted something that was happening in Canada, and we beefed about it.
Yeah.
But you do also.
Oh, yeah, it was a
you
CRTC
are
thing.
inherently a fucking troll.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
I'm
such a troll.
I'm okay with that though, if done well.
I don't
Me
think.
too, normally, but not when
Well,
you're
I
me.
think-
not
I
when
think-
it's coming. Not when you're in my seat. It
I think
sucks.
two things, right? So, I think
To it.
caring too much about something is super. Like, unless it's something that you personally contribute to, like you're an artist, I'm sure, and as you should be, very proud and very involved with what you create, right? And
Sure.
or
Sometimes.
Sometimes, some of it, 30%.
you have an evolved opinion about your space and about your other artists that do things that are either tangential or related or whatever. But if you, and I think that's cool as shit. But if you're just a person, like if you're you, and then you talk about like an issue that doesn't really reflect
Right.
your
it's like
art,
outside the brand.
yeah, if it doesn't pertain to you, if it affects you a little bit, but mostly it's just like a thing that is important to care about in that day, I think that's super lame, and I think that it dilutes that topic, and I think it dilutes your brand to talk about
Right.
it.
I didn't realize you were the head of marketing, but
Well,
it's
No,
good to know.
I have had quite a few people like message me about like being silent about certain things, an array of different things. And my take's always like, I post fart memes. Like, what do you want for like? I'm here to bring a
Yes, we've
chuckle
had-
to someone's day,
Right, but we've had
not
this
weigh in
disagreement.
on.
Yeah, I see that perspective. You share that perspective. We've disagreed on this though, where because this came about in the past with like hot girls posting political views.
Yes.
You're like, that's not what I want from you. Your account is like ass and tits.
And my
so why are
cleavage is
you?
fart memes.
Yeah, and your cleavage is fart memes.
Yeah.
You don't right.
Yeah.
From a marketing perspective, perhaps you're right, but from another perspective, people care about things and they share
and
that they care about
caring
those things.
is
And-
lame.
But caring isn't lame.
Caring is
Caring is
super
only
lame.
lame for people who are scared to care about things.
Yeah,
No.
caring's cool.
Caring is cool about
but
things
doing
that-
it because you feel like an obligation or like you
Yeah.
have to,
No.
like you said, signal
Right.
that. Like,
But then sometimes you don't know that person well enough to know whether they care enough about it or if they're just in your eyes perceived virtue signal.
that's what's so weird about social media in general is like everyone needs an opinion on everything and be an expert on everything.
Exactly, and that's lame. You like
Having an opinion on things is lame.
No, having an opinion on everything is lame.
I agree.
Like,
I actually agree with you.
Wow.
having an
I agree
opinion,
with you.
like,
I feel like I'm helping.
And the thing is, like, having an opinion on one thing, and then not having an opinion about equally important things that are further away from you, cherry picking things to have an opinion about is lame.
But that you're contradicting yourself.
No, because
You're saying you can't have an opinion on everything, but if you have an opinion on certain things and not other things, that's lame too. So
well,
You're setting an arbitrary line in the sand.
Well, that's what I'm
of
saying.
what's
So-
important versus
No,
not.
yeah, it's because it's in his mind. He's like,
No.
these things are important.
No, sorry. So I think a thing that having an opinion about is not lame is something that you are directly involved with.
Okay.
So like your art, for example, I do jiu-jitsu. I think my opinion on what this person's style is or how this person, someone's into sports, how this
Your
person,
wheelhouse. You have an opinion on something in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it should be a law that every year you get to look inside of all your neighbors' apartments and see how they decorate it. And once a year you could look at your neighbor's place. That should be a law.
that could be,
And I will die on that hill.
And that's an opinion that is very on brand for you.
But to be fair,
As an artist,
when I walk around
Or a
my
pervert,
neighborhood,
I don't
if
know.
the lights are on, I will look into your house
Oh, yeah.
because it's so cool. Especially like,
Have you seen in my house?
I don't know where you live.
Oh,
I know you live.
You would know if you saw.
Really?
It's crazy in there.
I fucking bet.
I believe
And
it.
and there's all these like social media accounts of like how I decorated my place, and I fucking live for those. But my point is to say you care about one thing, and then the next day you care about and you're all of a sudden an expert in this thing, and then like.
But why can't we pick our causes? Why can't we have things? You can't care. You're right when you say that having an opinion on if you have an opinion on everything, I would argue you maybe don't have an opinion on anything, right? Like if you have too many opinions, it's like, okay, well, like maybe you just want to be right as opposed to like you actually care about the things because you can't care about all those things. I mean, maybe you can if you're an overly empathetic person. I don't know. But from my eyes, I'm like, the world is too big and bad for all of us to have opinions. We all just need to pick causes. And then you can have people in your life who have certain causes. And then when they can be the expert of those causes. And then, so when they're posting about things that they care about, maybe there's just those are the 3 things that they are most passionate
I
about.
think the best way to enact change, and if you truly care about a specific cause, is to do it on a level where you can directly impact people.
I agree, but that's not the argument. That's not
No,
the
no,
argument we're
so-
having.
so
The
I
argument
think-
you're having is that you're
No.
like people aren't allowed to have any opinions, or they're not allowed to have.
They're allowed to have opinions. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
totally.
I don't think everyone should be allowed to share their opinion. No, that's a little bit extreme. No. Not everyone's opinion is
Matters.
Yeah, not everyone's opinion.
I would argue
matters.
nobody's does. Actually, nobody's opinion really matters.
Like
It's an opinion,
unless
that's
you're,
the point.
Well, yeah, but not everyone's opinion should be heard on every topic. For example, like if I come to
I think.
like I shouldn't have an opinion on women's reproductive rights,
True.
right?
Yes.
So
confirmed.
like
yes.
and
Well,
Well, you could have an opinion. You shouldn't be able to decide the law.
Well, no, I
your
should.
opinion can't yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
and-
that's it. But you can have an opinion on it.
I mean, I could have an
At
opinion, but
home.
like, right?
Yeah, at home.
but I shouldn't
In privacy.
Like, I shouldn't like people shouldn't. Like, I don't think I need to weigh in. I don't need to have it. Like,
Right.
I could have one, but
In
I
that
don't.
case, I won't share my opinion on it.
But like, there are things, and I think because of social media, we are like presented with a million issues a day,
right.
and because we are like, there's this thing called the Dunbar number that I recently heard about, which is the number of people that a person can have meaningful relationships with.
How many? How many?
So
people
a
is it?
person could have like 150 quote unquote meaningful relationships.
And then they cap out.
And that was like because of like tribes and the way humans, and then like certain animal, like
Right, it's
yeah.
It's evolutionary. Let's just say.
So
Okay.
because of social media, like we are exposed to so many more people,
Right.
and like let's
can't
say
care about
let's
that.
say you follow like 4 athletes, 5 influencers, like 3 of like, you know, there's you're spread too thin, and then you like your instinct is to care about all these things, but you physically like you're not evolved to.
I find that my biggest like gripe with social media is that if it were up to me, all I want to look at is art and pro wrestling. That's all I
Nice.
care about.
You
But
can do that.
no, everyone takes offense when you don't follow them. That's
Oh,
my
interesting.
problem. I have like probably like 300, 400 friends that I follow that I don't want to see. And I love these people, but I don't care to look at what they're doing today. I want to see art and pro wrestling. And now Instagram is like everybody's lives that I got to look at.
Let
I don't
me
wanna see it.
introduce you to the mute button.
The mute, but I got to go through and do like
You gotta
a
mute
cleanse.
everybody.
Yeah.
I think I like have 2 people that I actually
that's
care
smart.
about on my Instagram.
That's smart. I was gonna make like a Finsta just to look at what I want to look at.
Yeah, that's also really good for your mental health.
Yeah.
I don't know that I understood what you articulated, but I think
We're not meant to be exposed. So
Yeah.
we're presented with too many things that we should
yes.
like.
I was gonna summarize. I was just gonna summarize back to what I think you're saying about social media is that like everybody has a soapbox now, and we're all just kind of yelling into the abyss,
Yeah.
and it's not really making any impact on anyone directly. You can have more impact in your inner
stand on
circle,
your
your smaller
soap, yeah.
circle by having like meaningful conversations and engaging in debate when it's appropriate, not at like, a birthday party, for example. Yes, I agree with you. But you don't like to care about things, and then you get upset when people care about things. And so we're going back to you and I beefing all the time. You
care too much, dude.
That's why I care too much.
Yeah.
And he knows how to get under my
And it all starts
skin.
with looking in the mirror. We'll be right back.
Our sponsor. We need a mirror sponsor.
Mirror sponsor. Yeah.
And I want a
Mirrors.
skinny mirror. You know those like.
Yeah. I love a skinny mirror.
I'm surprised that that hasn't made its way into like the homes of.
It's true.
They have.
Just trick yourself into looking better.
No, they have. Certainly they have. But they're not like,
No one's advertising skinny mirrors.
well, because skinny mirrors don't really help anyone.
For sure they do. If you could think you're better looking than you are, you will behave better.
I think there's something to that. Like it's like a placebo thing, and then you just start being that.
Right.
Like I try to.
It's there's the opposite. There's like, have you guys heard of those like real life mirrors or like fat mirrors? So fat mirrors are like mirrors, a lot of like, I don't know if this is factual, but I think 90s, maybe these fat mirrors were like put in homes so that women would like work harder to lose weight.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like
But I feel
even
like it does the
mothers,
opposite.
mothers would put these fat mirrors like all over their houses so that their daughters would be like, oh, I need to lose weight. It's like it adds 10 pounds.
Interesting.
But then and now on social media, there's like a true mirror, it's called, I think, or something. I forgot what it's called, but it's
That's
like
just a mirror.
it's a mirror that shows you exactly what you look like.
Yeah, those are called mirrors.
No, but it's like
Oh, you mean it
I
flips
guess
the image?
no, it just like
Oh.
that's to pay for parking. Thank you so much. There's a coffee break.
Birth control.
But I do think like I'm trying to exercise more and eat better, and rather than be like, I'm gonna diet and I'm gonna go to the gym and like, rather than say I'm gonna do these things, what I'm trying to do now is make the shift that like, no, I'm an athlete and I'm in great shape and I have to maintain that and work on that. And the more you do that, then over time you just are. So I'm trying to
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, I'm trying to like
Little
get
bit.
ahead of it. Yeah.
That's like I think that's like the healthy brand of delusion that
Yeah,
everyone is
exactly.
prescribing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to gaslight yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the fake it till you make it, right? So you're
Exactly.
faking that you're
That
an
I'm healthy.
athlete and you
Yeah.
gotta stay on
Yeah.
top of that regime.
That I could run for more than 6 minutes at a time. Yeah.
Dude, running is awful.
Running sucks.
God.
I don't think it's,
Where do
and
you
they
even
say it's
go?
not really good for you either.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
it's bad for your knees.
It's bad for
your
your knees,
yeah.
back, everything.
I don't believe that.
You don't?
No, the human body evolved to be able to run and chase predators. I think that's just lazy people.
I completely agree,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's not. You're not
convinced.
supposed to run for 24 miles.
I mean, you don't.
That was our advantage, like evolution. If you
Yes.
get all nerdy, but like that we could run long distance
Right.
and tire out our prey.
But not 24 miles.
24 miles probably not. But
That's
it's very.
I'm saying marathons aren't healthy. That's
marathon. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, but that's a jump from just regular running. You went from a
like
6-minute
from
run
there, yeah.
to where are you going? Oh, okay. Wait. So that's interesting that you said that about running, not to tire the body out, but to tire the mind out.
No, we evolved.
Did you say
sweat and
But I like
run
it.
because it would tire our prey.
Oh, tire our prey.
'Cause we were able to sweat and they weren't, so we would just run long distances until they collapsed.
But I do find in terms of like
Okay.
running for exercise, there is something quite meditative about it
Well,
for sure.
The only thing I like about running is the mental stuff it brings.
Yeah.
You. Yeah. Because it does like calm you. It's really good if you have like any form of like attention deficit. Like it literally tires you out. I've been trying to go now on 2 walks a day.
Nice.
You're going to be so proud of me.
I'm listening.
I'm going on 2 walks a day.
Nice. Okay.
That's- Historically, I hate walking. So this
Are they
is
on
for me.
flat or she hates inclines?
No, inclines too.
Nice.
as well.
Okay.
Not even for the physical aspect of it, not even to like whatever, but because I need to tire my brain out.
Yeah.
Or like by the time I hit the pillow, like it's
It's
just
racing.
nonstop. I find like
Yeah.
actually just like being physical.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you sleep with your phone next to you?
I do,
I've stopped doing that. And
yeah. I do, yeah.
I've stopped. I keep it in another room now, and I keep a notepad next to my bed because obviously you're going to come up with things you want to write down, and I find notepad really helpful. I have notepads all over my home now so that I can stay off the phone as much as possible.
That's so smart. Do you have you ever read Atomic Habits?
No.
Okay, just started reading it, and he says that he goes like the best way to like create habits is to like make them so accessible all over the house. So like like having he talks about water. Like if you want to drink water, more water, you know how everyone's like buying those like 2-liter bottles and stuff. He's like, what you actually should do is just all around your house, just have like cups of water. Because then like everywhere you go, it's just going to be like accessible. Your brain doesn't have to think about it. You don't have to like be intentional about drinking water.
I've even for years
So
I
smart.
swore on the calendar app and a running to-do list in my notes, and that's how I would stay organized because I'm like I have attention issues and I'm super unorganized, so I have to like stay hyper organized as a result.
Yeah.
I love a calendar app.
I've gotten off of it. What I do now is I have 4 walls in my home. One's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I post-it notes that like my to-dos. And when I finish a task, I take it off the wall and I crumple it up and I put it in this little vase. And when I fill the vase, I get a pizza night.
Dude, that's so cool.
I think you just broke my brain. I'm
love
going to do that at home.
Yeah, get
Hey, wait,
Post-it
what else do you
notes.
do? Tell me everything.
My
I'm a
weird
full convert.
habits?
Yeah, what
I don't
else?
know.
That's
have,
such a like outside the box way of thinking.
I just find
Well,
because
it's
if I
actually
do it on
inside the box because you're literally making
my
all your
box, yeah.
walls.
The
But
pizza comes.
and then the
in a
pizza comes in a box.
everything's
Yeah,
box-related,
yeah.
I'm just trying to get off the screens as much as possible because they suck you in. Before you know it, it's 45 minutes, and I'm looking at like who was Drew Carey married to for no reason. I have work to do.
I feel like lately the screens really make me depressed.
Yeah, they're not good.
They are not good. Now, please watch this podcast.
Yeah. That being said, whatever
and
screen,
subscribe, yeah.
screen you're watching this on, it's fantastic.
And this is perfect. This is something you could put on and like do some laundry and do some. You could
Wash your
you
clothes
could go
to
to
Tyler.
the gym.
Yeah, you could go to the gym, listen to it. Yeah,
Like,
I think audio is much better than the
yeah.
screen.
The thing is, you can't see fat tits in audio.
No, but you could describe them.
True.
Sometimes hotter when you describe, right? Okay, what else? Wait. So what else do you do? Sorry.
Like in terms of weird self-care
Yeah, like weird,
stuff.
weird like
I do all
self-care stuff.
kinds. I journal a lot.
Okay, how do you journal? How do you like? How did you get into the habit of that? Because I can't. I start journaling. I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh, really? I
Like, do you do like bullet point journaling?
sometimes I'll make a couple notes so I don't forget things that I wanted to include, but usually I try to do it like a faucet. Like I'll just, normally when you're typing, you have to like think of what you want to say and then type it, and it's like kind of 2 actions.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like circumvent that and just have my brain go to my hands and just like type what I think. So it's kind of it's like
free
free
form.
association writing or
Okay,
free
okay.
form writing.
Yeah.
But typing that way, so I'll just go off for like 30 minutes and then all of a sudden there's like 2,000 words
So you,
there.
You journal on the computer.
Yeah, because I'm faster that way. I type real quick.
Yeah, my hand does sometimes cramp when I'm writing.
Yeah, I hate handwriting. Yeah.
Fuck
And what I've started
Fuck a
doing,
hand.
I'm getting into, fuck hands. Foot gang. I'm getting into tarot cards.
That's cool.
So now I'm incorporating that into my journaling. I'll pull some cards and be like, what do these mean and stuff. And I got pro wrestling tarot cards. So now I'm like incorporating like, who's this character and what does he have to do with my future and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could monetize that kind of lifestyle.
What do you mean?
Like
I'm trying.
like
What I do.
Fucking corporate cat.
No, but
man.
the thing is,
He's
like,
he's
all of these things, like, I think, and this is like, I don't want to be all lame and lame.
Well, do you are you about to give an opinion? 'Cause
No,
that would
but
probably.
like the way I would, like, I don't know, my immigrant parents kind of like forced me to be like, okay, you need to fucking sit and, my free form writing was like multiplication tables.
Mhm.
And then like
Like wake up.
Like, yeah,
you're
like
9 times 9.
oh, it's Saturday, you're going to go to Russian school, and then you're going to do your homework, and then you're going to write multiplication tables of 17, like up to 17 or whatever. Like,
Okay.
And so like,
Was there any like downtime?
but the thing is, like, what I think is really cool, and what I think if I have whatever kids, is I'd be like, okay, like, this is really important. Like, you need to learn how to count, but also like, hey, like, sit down and like draw what you thought of, like what you did, like think, like either write about what you did today, draw something that like made you feel, because I never flexed that muscle as a kid, or even I feel like I'm gonna cry, or as a young adult. And then like, to me, the only way I could like conceptualize living is through like transactions that will generate income. And like, when you're describing all these like cool things that I'm like, fuck, that sounds awesome. How do you make a living doing that?
Well, they're kind of like, are you a freelancer?
No.
You have a
No,
job?
Mike's like locked into the matrix.
Because I find that mentality I suffered from for a long, long time because of being a freelancer, where every minute needs to be a monetized one.
Yeah.
But I find that doing the things to take care of yourself actually benefits the work side more.
Right, but I think, is the work inherently creative?
Yeah.
Well, that's the difference.
you need to.
You know, like because I didn't develop an ability to create stuff that I would like, nothing that this is sad, but nothing that I create I would want to have, or like I would want to consume necessarily, except this podcast.
Okay.
Actually, you know, a lot of the podcasts I've been on, Human Record.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that was epic. But
like nothing that I would create, I could see like, oh, like, dude, like this thing that I did, people should have this.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Okay. What if I was like, no?
Then we move on.
Yeah.
I recommend setting aside a day. Like, I'm going to take a day off. It's a weekend or whatever. Like, I'm going to take this day off, and don't schedule anything. Don't make any plans, and wake up and listen to yourself about what you want to do.
Yeah. I think what you're describing about your parents kind of building this like very rigorous routine of discipline has like very much served you in your like day to day, because you wake up and you always have stuff to do. You're always doing stuff. You're like, you're good. You're able to stay on top of so many things. But I think what Tyler is talking about is like the stuff that you do outside of the work makes the work better. And I don't know that you do enough stuff for yourself outside of that would support your work so that you work more efficiently during work hours between 9 to 2.
Well, no, I work 9 to 5. But...
No, I know, but you said your most productive hours are 9 to 2. I know you work 9 to 5.
But I think sorry, go on.
I just mean like creatively. I think like,
yeah, I don't mean creative. That's the difference.
But I'm saying like what he's doing it in a creative way because you're creative.
But I think everyone is. I think absolutely everybody is. I think we're all radios, and the ideas don't belong to us. They exist in the ether, and certain people are have a finer tune to it and can hear it better. But I think everyone could hear it. It's just a practice of like being able to listen. And that takes like slowing down and doing nothing. I do once a month, a full 24 hours, no screens, no electricity. I do at least once a week. I'll set aside at least an hour or two to turn everything off and just sit with a notepad and like see what comes up and what happens.
Right.
But do you like...
You're blowing my mind. You can start a cult.
I'm working on it.
Be your first member. I think I'm already inducted.
No offense, not the first member.
He's like, no offense. There's a really long wait list, and you didn't even make the cut.
You've been creative for. I mean, your argument is that everyone's creative from rip, but like, you were able to find success and be like self-sufficient in your creativity for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I'm very grateful for.
But that's a different conversation.
No. Well,
no, but it is valid. It's like I've had that luxury for a long time.
And like the fact that now, however you decide to work, whether it's being more off grid, being more off screen, or being more like whatever it is that you do, like channels towards your creativity, which feeds back into the growth of your art. Which channels, like that cycle doesn't necessarily overlap with like a more technical cycle. Like, for example, like
See, this I disagree. I think your mindset. I think it's just a distinction in mindset. I think your mindset is that everything you do has to like inadvertently lead to monetization.
well, yeah,
Right. So you're coming at it from that, which is
Eventually.
which is a great goal eventually. But a lot of people that in the creative world, which in the technical world makes sense because everything is kind of like outlined what you have to do, especially you're an engineer, like everything is very like clear cut. Like there's a clear road, clear path to like whatever. And then it's, you build by the hour, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense that you live your life that way where like everything needs to like lead to monetization because of the nature of your industry. I think for creatives, like in the creative space, like that monetization comes when you're really good at what you do. And in order to be really good at what you do, you need to like have all these like methods in place to like constantly be
Right.
creative. But I think it's just like,
Or it doesn't, or like you don't.
or it's okay that it doesn't. Yeah. Or it's okay that it doesn't. Or you do it because you like it, not necessarily because you're going to monetize it.
That's is I
Yeah.
think, and I could be wrong on this, but in my opinion, now we're sharing opinions again.
Which is up your alley,
Yeah.
but
Uh-oh.
So-
But you're allowed because it's in your wheelhouse. It's been approved.
I think pretty much anyone, like creatives or non-creatives, I'm of the opinion that the more, like the hardest part of career, let's call it, is like being yourself. The more you're you, the more successful you'll be at whatever you do.
I agree.
people want you.
No matter what, if you're true to you and you feel good about it and like full, people somewhere will like that.
I agree.
Maybe it's an employer, maybe it's an audience, maybe it's whoever.
Right. And you could be really like true to yourself in a technical field. You could be like,
Mhm.
but let's say like a person that's like an outstanding engineer who's very passionate
His
about
name is Mike.
no, but like who's really into stand-up comedy, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I like I consume a lot of it. I would argue I understand like the
You do.
Diff-
You
like
do.
that.
You could be very good at it.
but so
But you
so,
don't
like,
monetize. You can't monetize it, so you don't care about it.
the time it would take for me,
Yeah.
the time and effort it would take for me to like, and time, effort, and risk
Yeah.
of like pursuing that, dedicating the time, the effort, the sweat equity into developing that, like
Doesn't seem worth it. to
doesn't
you.
seem worth it to me.
But
Because he's not
but
monetizing
I
it
would argue
immediately.
that
Yeah.
if you woke up tomorrow and decided I'm a stand-up comedian and I'm quitting my job and I'm doing this, I don't know how long, but within 3 to 6 months to 4 years or whatever, you do it.
Fair, but like
Yes,
I would
you
do
would.
like
You would.
but
I don't recommend it. It's a tough one.
It's a tough. It's a tough life. But I actually like. If, just quickly, just because I'm getting a little bit lost. This is a very conceptual conversation. But like the second I decided that I'd burned all the ships and that there was no other job that I could do, the second I decided that I was like, I'm going to be a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
There's no like, we're on the island.
Yeah.
We burned the ships. We're here.
Exactly.
Things actually started like lining up because you just automatically your mode of thinking, it's like manifesting, like your mode of thinking just shifts where you're like, there are no other options. So we have to make this work.
I have a close friend who years
matter
ago
what.
decided he wants to be a musician, but was worried. That's another tough creative avenue to go
Yeah.
down. So he got a huge like music note tattooed on his neck.
On his neck.
So that like, yeah.
That is
It would be
one
a
way to
deterrent.
lock yourself
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
For sure. So if tomorrow, I guess you're having a hard time seeing this, I think, because you're like, if tomorrow you decide if tomorrow you woke up and you're like, I'm going to be the best engineer or like the most like successful engineer, do you believe that just having that thought would like lead you to that or no?
and like for sure.
Yeah.
But I could be like a very mediocre engineer.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I could be a very bad engineer and still have
a
like
living.
like a like I could go and get a slice of pizza, get a cup of coffee, whatever, like like have a living that is like pretty luxury. Like
Yeah.
those things are luxuries, right? Like we don't need to go buy coffee. We could
No,
make coffee at home,
for sure.
whatever. Like I think I could afford these quote unquote luxuries
Mm-hmm.
as like a
shitty engineer.
as a shitty engineer.
Right.
But
As
in
a shitty
order,
comic, no.
like if even if you're like an excellent comic, and there's like obviously like there's this tons of discussion, even like staying in Montreal, then staying in Canada, like
Yeah.
there's like so many.
You could be an outstanding comic and not afford
You
coffee.
could be an outstanding comic in Montreal
Yeah.
and not afford coffee. You could be an outstanding comic in Canada and barely afford rent in the city you're living in.
But
So
that's part of it. Like if you are going for it, it means going to where that exists.
well, right, but so the trope. So
It's
I
about
think
concessions, though.
so-
like you make concessions. We make it like I make concessions in like the everyday little luxuries that you get to benefit from, but you make concessions also.
right. I think the
I don't
trope
know
of
what
the
they are.
starving artist is not attractive enough to me to be
Right.
to
But
justify.
you care about security.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
also like coming from a background where like you don't necessarily. I mean, I was very fortunate in that like we did move away from a place that was like not great into like a more prosperous, awesome country. That's a whole different discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And like through the hard work of my parents and through like the things they instilled in me, I was able to provide this security for myself.
Right.
So like to kind of like turn that on its head and be like, oh, like I'm just gonna like live like with this like level of risk.
Of course.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's saying, fuck the whole economic system, fuck the way society is structured, and just do you is.
And the thing is, you
impossible.
could still like, and I think like this is a perfect example. Like I get to hang out with like creative people, do like super fun things. Like in my world, I would have never ran into you outside of like watching one of your shows. But like this is like a good like way to dip my toe in this.
Mm-hmm.
But to be like, okay, this is the only thing I'm gonna do, and there's so many like unfun things about. Like it's
Well, that's the concessions you make on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Yeah.
every being creative is also like it's not just like I'm gonna sit and paint and then all of a sudden I'm like you have to like okay like hey, what art gallery can I go expose it? Sorry,
Yeah.
like it's all the
Totally.
other shit. You're still gonna have to walk through shit.
And at the end of the day, even if like I always say like I'm living the dream, I do like I love what I do, I love my life, but at the end of the day, like it comes with a lot of hard work, and no matter what, if it's something you have to do, you don't want to do it. Right. Even if
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
Like my job
And
is
there's-
literally interview porn stars, and there's days where I'm like, oh, I got to go to work
Yeah.
because I want to sit at home and smoke a joint and watch
Yeah.
basketball.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Great.
I don't know. Yeah. Good. I guess. We're all on the same page.
We
I
all
guess.
have to work, I
weirdly,
guess.
weirdly. Yeah, I think for sure when you describe your background, it informs how you view security and how important it is in your life, and I'm sure that definitely factors in.
Yeah.
Mind you, there are a lot of very successful
But
foreign artists, right?
yeah, but back to what he was saying about like those little things that he does for himself to like kind of keep like the
Sane.
sane. You don't see value in those unless
No,
they're
that's not it.
getting monetized?
No, it's no. I definitely
asking,
no.
not
I
blaming.
see.
He's saying, how do you monetize?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I see the value in them. It's to me, it's more like I wish I was able to do the like, fuck, like. I mean, I could do that too. I could have a vase with like
Pizza vase.
Like yeah, I could have
Like, literally
I could
stealing
have a
that.
pizza vase and like okay, like I need to fucking book an appointment for the vet for my dog. Do that like there are things like that isn't
You have stuff to do,
yeah like
right? You have Post-its you could put on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. But like, I don't know if that necessarily is gonna translate into like me being a better engineer.
Sure.
But for example, like because I think inherently artists isn't that like a whole thing? Like people who are a little less organized are better artists, or like more creative.
If so, then I am a fucking.
Well, no,
artist.
but
I am like
but the-
fucking
like all these
Vincent
like
Van Gogh over here.
all
It's
these
all
like
about organization.
like to be able to like turn on like turning off screens. I think that's like a thing that you could do as anybody. You
Yeah.
don't need to be.
That's
on
a
your
benefit
phone
we can all
before-
benefit from. Yeah.
Before bed, you don't need to be on your phone for 45 minutes.
Right. But what makes you a good engineer? Because like I think for me, what I'm understanding, what you're saying is that like
that's a good question. I wonder.
it's like don't check the bridges. But like for me, what you're saying is like it's and this is kind of what like the book Atomic Habits talks about, is that it's like discipline for a lot of people. Like people have this understanding that discipline is like getting up every day and doing a lot of hard things one after the other, but it's actually not. It's actually the most disciplined people in the world find ways to make their tasks as easy and as like achievable as possible. And I think that the way that he does that for you do those things that support your art, your flow, your free flow of thinking, whatever you could do to become a better engineer. Like I think you could just do those things and they would help you and they would serve you.
Do you feel like you need to be a better engineer?
Or you're
I mean, you
good.
can always to say no is like so vain.
But I said, do you need to be? Do you feel you need to be a better engineer?
Yeah, like is it important
Is
for
that-
you
yeah,
to
is-
be?
Well, it's important to me to be the best that I could be in the things that I
Okay,
do.
so see, so some people don't need to be the
Exactly.
best that they can be in their industry. Like I think a lot of artists, that's like the nature of their trajectory, is that they want to be the best at what they do. But like an engineer, like you said, like you could be a shitty engineer, mail it in every day, do your job, make your fucking 6 figures, get your little coffees,
Take it easy.
and take your vacations whenever you want, and not live to work.
Yeah, maybe
Just
'cause
work
in a-
to live.
In a creative field, it's more abstract and there's no like right or wrong. Whereas like you were saying, rather than like draw and write creatively, you were doing math because there is a structure and there is
Yeah.
an answer. And
Yeah.
engineering's a lot more like that.
Yeah.
There's
Finding
an answer.
answers. is
Like
more
could you
important.
wake up,
Yeah.
do a like what would make your brain, put your brain in like a space to like make you like just get the work done and make sure you don't make mistakes? Because like I know you're
Well,
like,
rest.
I don't really know what you do, to be
Yeah.
honest. Does
I've-
anyone know what engineers
I have
do?
no idea
Can
what
we know?
this means.
Can we-
no,
can
but
you tell me what you're
I
doing
think
on a
rest.
day-to-day?
No.
use like
classified.
compasses and protractors. I don't know.
Like rest, right?
Yeah, I
you
think-
always exercise once
yeah,
a day,
rest,
right?
exercise. You know, like
That's also your ED, but that's fine.
yeah.
um,
Why?
your eating disorder.
Oh, I thought you meant erection.
yeah,
Like,
that's I always.
I was like, well, you can't
No,
get
no, no.
both when you
ED is
study
different.
math.
ED is different for men and women, but equally as scary for both of us in respectively. So, but I'm an eating disorder.
Well, no, I think.
I
It's,
mean, that other thing is your business, not mine. Not mine to air out, you know.
I get really hard around bagels.
But like, could you do math? Like, could you wake up, like, let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. and you like, what would make you a better engineer? Again, I don't know what you do.
I think like
Like, are you doing math all day?
no, I'm using softwares and like drawings, like you know, like
So that's
Creative.
yeah.
I mean, it's creative in the sense that like it needs to work, and there's a million ways
Yeah.
to skin a cat. You know.
Yeah.
So you're finding like creative ways.
Well, no, I'm finding the most effective, cheapest, most efficient
Right.
ways to do things.
Yeah.
So like, but
Feel like engineering is a cult, and I feel like you guys don't do anything. It's a scam. It's the biggest scam
all
on
this
earth.
to say like to be a better engineer, like engineer is just like acquire more knowledge.
On what?
Oh, yeah. Engineers just go into an office and go like, "Did anyone ask any questions this week? Is anybody on to it?"
Well, no, like
What's the best way to do things?
no, it's like you have to like aggregate as much information as you can so that like when you are faced with a problem, you have more resources to find solutions.
Good words.
Right? Like
This is a
Still
word
don't know
salad.
what you do, but
Still
good-
can't tell
good
you what
words.
you do.
well, like
Okay,
for
could you give like a small example? Like,
okay, for example,
Okay.
like you want to film a video.
okay,
Okay, so
I want to film a lot of videos.
you want to film a video. Well, like if you're me, I Google if you're, for example, someone who doesn't know anything about creating content.
Mhm.
What camera do I need? What software do I need?
Oh, he's a producer.
No.
Yes.
But I'm
mean,
giving an example.
No, because Human Raccoons would have been like a stellar smash hit if
But-
he was a producer of any kind.
Right.
But anyway,
So
so you would Google.
you would Google and then you would like find like the entry level or the like the
Best camera.
yeah,
Literally
Google
my
best camera.
job.
Yeah, Google best camera, best mic.
This is literally my job.
So,
Apparently, you're an engineer.
yeah,
but for example,
Someone
like,
get this guy a pinky ring.
yeah, get that ring.
if like for example somebody that's been doing it for a long time, so like for example I'll be, hey, like Tyler, I use this mic, this light, and this thing. Like, okay, but like what do you use it for? Like, are you shooting in a
So
studio?
consultant, right? So you
Well,
would find someone,
no,
an
it's,
expert.
no, it just I'm saying the difference between like a good engineer and a great engineer is like, okay, like I know this is an answer for
the problem.
that's
works.
Right. This is
But he might have like, okay, well, like because you're doing it in like this kind of studio
with this
and,
lighting.
and like these are the things that the people are wearing that reflect light this way, and maybe this guy talks way louder than like there's all these other parameters that you might not even think about.
Yeah.
That you might know because you've done this a million times, or you've talked to people that produce these microphones, and you know that like actually this microphone's gain is a little bit better than the other ones, and the cameras captures light.
Okay,
like
so you are aggregating information, working with consultant.
well,
You're making him sound like an expert, right? Because like
But
if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to go to another engineer and ask him.
And this is
right?
literally my job. Like, I don't know the first thing about anything. My career is just one after the other, learning something I don't know and figuring out the best way to do it.
So in engineering, it's like it's finding different ways of coming up with an answer, and then eventually
problem solving.
Yeah, creative problem solving.
yeah, it's you're solving problems, and you're always
Still no
trying
clue what he does.
Still a
always trying
scam.
to find
Still a scam.
Yeah,
better ways to do things.
you're describing any job.
But but for example, like let's say you're doing a bit on stage, you
Right.
know, there's like
Well, you're
go.
you're applying like your technical words to like creative things, and I think that's where we're getting confused. But like, can you give an example, like a toilet, like a broken toilet?
Right.
Like, what would an engineer do in a broken toilet? Find a way to like fix the toilet, and then also make sure that the toilet is.
No, like
better
I don't know. I don't know what engineers do. So.
no, okay, but like I think like okay, you're let's say you need to like make this thing, like this microphone stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I might come in and be like, okay, well, we need to like get this material and this material and that material, and then like use this machine to put it together.
Okay.
And then like another person might be like, okay, well, like actually if we get this other material, it works way better with that machine.
Mm-hmm.
So and actually
You're optimizing.
yeah,
You're optimizing based on the needs.
so
and, like,
and the more you know about a specific thing, the better you are at that thing, which is true for everything. But
okay.
for me, like
Because you're also describing artists. Because like if I were like, I want to build a mic stand, I would look into how to make this and what this piece is and who I could talk to. That's the job of being an artist, is how do I make something?
right, but for you, like once something is like for you, art is
the use, I
never
think,
done. It's
where
never
it'll
done
be.
in that like you can always. I think the art. I forget who said this, but the difference between a good artist and a great artist is like knowing when to stop painting.
That was
Right.
me. I said that.
Crazy that we have you here today. Wow. Wild.
But like that's like
Yeah,
how do you
it's
know when a
true.
painting is done?
Yeah, it's
You
the craziest
never-
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whereas like
Dude, I have this guy. I share an art studio with like 3 or 4 elderly people.
Nice.
And there's this one guy that comes in, and I spoke to him a few days ago. He had a painting on his wall that he made 18 years ago, and it's been sitting on his wall for 18 years. And he told me that he was sitting at home one night getting high and looking at it and realized it's not done, and he brought it back in and he's working on it now.
well,
That's crazy to me.
so like in a lot of cases, like we don't have that problem, or like
Right.
the thing we have is like, does this work to the best of its ability? Yes.
Right.
Great. And then let's reevaluate in a year.
Well, there's
is this still true?
The science aspect of it too is that you're creating things that are usually being used for mass consumption and or it can be applied in different scenarios.
used as opposed
They're
to
being
art, which
used.
is being experienced.
You're building more systems for building.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So like
Whereas art, like you could build, if
I've
you
learned
built,
something.
like Mike would build this microphone stand for it to work. You might build it because like you just want to build it, and
wanna
it
make
reminds you of your
penis.
penis. And I was going to say comedy career, but whichever one is doing better, honestly, you choose.
Depends on the ED, you know.
Yeah, depends on the ET.
I'm eating fine.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah, so it's the
Gotcha.
edge goal that's different. Is like
Gotcha.
I'm creating stuff to be used, and you're creating stuff that's being experienced.
sometimes used also. But so, what would make you a better engineer?
Wait,
Waking
what?
up, reading more of like about materials and stuff, consuming that stuff. Okay,
talking-
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas like
But do
you
you
could be
want to
inspired
be?
by like an awesome basketball game, or like you'll see like a inspiration cut. Like I think it's just like where inspiration comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different for everyone.
Okay, but now, like, if we look at buildings that are both and like or a
This
Tesla.
is so boring.
I don't know. I mean, it is like a Tesla, right? Teslas are like these kind of like have been, I don't know, engineers have told me that they're these like engineering marvels, or like that there's like this like scientific breakthrough of a car. But it's also like pretty
Elon
nice
said that.
to look
Yeah,
at.
there's one
Okay,
guy.
one guy
Yeah.
said
I
it.
said it a lot.
Okay, so the last guy I had sex with just was repeating Elon Musk. Good to know.
There's a guy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
but make this more fun, eh?
And-
there's a
no,
guy-
I think it was interesting.
I have to do research for my job where I interview porn stars.
Yeah.
So I end up like
Consuming a lot of porn.
having to look
Right.
at a lot of porn.
My buddy that's a copywriter does that also.
Yeah.
Does it ruin porn for you?
I've never really been a porn guy, so
Okay.
But there's a guy I saw recently who's like blowing up, who always like all his videos are shot him having sex in the driver's seat of his self-driving Tesla.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah, you've seen this? guy?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur.
Innovative.
Wait,
Yeah.
the car's driving. and
Car's
having
driving
sex.
and he has a girl on his
Yeah.
lap having sex and he can't really see.
But it's self-driving, so it's
Yeah. And he has like dozens of
There's
videos
no
like
reason
this.
men that need to have sex with women ever again in real life. Like that's insane.
Oh yeah.
fine. Wait, what?
Like
I mean, he
That's
has real
crazy.
women with.
Who's-
He's not having sex with the car.
no, I know, but I mean, like that's why, like you guys. That's like sounds like all the things men like in one in
well,
like
it's an electric
8
car.
minutes.
Not that cool.
And in the passenger seat, there was a barbecue.
A Foreman grill, like all this stuff. Yeah,
Guns, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
guns. Just like and yeah, is that safe? I guess it's a
No.
self-driving car.
It
It's
can't
a
be
self-driving
safe.
car.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
you
like,
still gotta look. You can't have sex the whole time. But sorry, I interrupted. You were talking about
No, but I'm-
Teslas.
No, I was I was talking about a shitty dude I fucked. That's what I was talking about. No, but I was saying I was
mean, you
making
got
the
a
point
Tesla,
that like can't things be like well engineered and also art.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure there-
Like
yeah.
good art needs to be well made. I think
Yeah,
to a degree.
to a degree.
I think the best art exists on fridges. That's my favorite.
On fridges?
On
Yeah.
fridges, yeah.
Oh, like kids?
Well engineered fridges.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of fixing my fridge. I'm not
I feel
even
like
kidding.
everything in your apartment falls apart.
It's true. In the last like month, so I have a dryer that the little dial you turn to set for how it's been broken for like a year, and I've been using I've been taking out the mechanism and turning it with pliers and putting it back in. Michelle got zapped 4 times doing it.
Yeah, because I stayed at his house. He's like, you can use my dryer. You just have to do like he gets
You
on
just need to
FaceTime with me,
hotwire
and he's
it.
like, you just need to hotwire it for it to work.
yeah.
And I got fucking electrocuted 4 times, and
Now
I was
I
like,
got-
I will wear dirty clothes. I
Yeah.
can't do this.
So that happened to me. And
So your dryer's broken, and now your fridge is broken.
So
You got to wear
My
rubber
dryer- And
you're an
to do
engineer.
laundry.
well now
well,
yes.
now we know what kind of engineer you are.
Well, no, but
you know?
so at some point I got tired of using pliers and my fridge being broken, so I YouTubed how to fix it, and things are coming in the mail today to fix this.
Nice.
So I'm pretty stoked.
She's engineering it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
engineering it
take.
a
Well,
year
somebody
later.
did it, so I'm just copy pasting it. So I'm not being very creative.
Yeah, it's all derivative.
It is.
All right, can I go through some? I'm trying a new segment where I'm going through some gripes, and then we'll get into
It's my favorite
Tyler.
flavor of soda.
And we'll get into a time when you were an asshole.
Sure.
For the pod. So something that I've been seeing that's been pissing me off is when like people who are like over 27, I'll say, like old, like pushing 30, having these like massive birthday parties. What do you guys think about that?
I think if it's a like a plateau number, if you're hitting 30, you're hitting 40,
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
for it.
let's talk like no milestone numbers.
but no, like unless
like
okay,
like a 29-year-old having like a 100-person
unless it's
birthday
for like
party.
a cause.
like on like getting a bus and like going to like a bar and like you know what I mean, like
Unless there's
doing it up.
Exceptions.
Yeah.
If there's like an occasion,
Yeah.
like
It's not an occasion. They're just turning. It's just
Okay,
their
it's just
A
birthday.
birthday blowout. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to use my birthday as an excuse to get people to like come to some sort of like charity thing or donate something. Like I'll try to like guilt people through my birthday.
That's fine.
It's very Jewish.
Yeah.
My mom does that thing. Oh, your
I
grandma's
used-
turning 83. Like
I used
fuck,
to do
good
this
for her.
thing. I did it for 6 years in a row where I would do it was the charity Scotch basketball tournament.
Okay.
And it was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Sounds
But
fun.
every time your team scores, all 3 of you have to take a shot of scotch. So the more you win, the more drunk you get, and the playing field kind of evens out by the end.
Yeah.
Those were really fun. We would do like, those were always fundraisers. So it was like an excuse to get people to come do something. But I would never just like throw a party and be like, come celebrate me.
I think my gripe with it is that it's very reminiscent of what we were doing when we were like 22. You know, it's like that energy, and it's just kind of like, grow up, you know? I don't know, just grow up.
I think it just sounds like you're sad you're not 22 anymore.
Maybe, but it's just like, just have a nice dip. Like, I think a charity, that's nice. Or like if you make it into like a show or like a roast or like something fun. But like just like having like 100 people come on like a bus, and then you go to a bar, and then you're just like taking up the whole bar for your birthday.
I don't like being
like
the center of attention that
like,
much.
just fucking like sit at home, light a candle, like fucking cry yourself to sleep like the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't like
My
being the
birthday's
center of
coming up.
attention.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm having a little.
I also think as a like a guest of these types of parties, there's nothing I hate more than like, oh, I got to go out to this birthday thing tonight.
Yeah.
Like I love doing a podcast, a show. If there's something like,
Yeah.
if we're doing something creative and
Celebrating,
fun or interesting or, you know, enriching. But if we're just like going to a bar and we're going to
100
like
people.
talk at a bar.
Yeah, it's like you don't
Never.
even see the birthday. You're not even gonna get to talk to the birthday girl, boy, or whatever. You're just gonna.
I
How
went
many
to,
dudes are doing this?
Dudes are doing what?
That thing. I think it's only women.
I hate that you turned it into this, but
do you
you're
guys-
right.
Do you guys like go out? Do you guys do you like have a social life and stuff?
No, I kind of retired my social life.
Yeah, I went to a party last night,
Me
and
too. I
it
hated it.
dawned on me that the last time I've gone out for something not work was July. Yeah,
I think me too.
yeah.
I don't go out a lot anymore because I just don't. I don't need to.
You don't need it.
everything. You know what I realized? Everything that I chased, like in my early 20s, like the higher the like dopamine hit that I was chasing by like going out and like having these like fun nights or whatever with alcohol and drugs was like I get from crowds now. So I
Yeah.
just or like I get it from other ways, like creative outlets.
Yeah,
So I just don't
and it gets
need it
harder.
anymore.
I find
And then I get drained. I show up and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone
yeah,
here.
like I feel I'm hungover as hell right now.
Really?
I feel bad. Yeah,
Bad.
it's
Never worth
bad.
it either.
No,
The thing, yeah,
like I feel like
Never worth it.
I was good with it, and then the minute I hit like 27,
that's exactly it.
you stop
27 was
being
for me.
functional.
27.
Yeah,
What is that?
it's the deadline for partying and having fun.
I think, yeah, like I think my like ideal social thing is like involves food, like moderate amount of like mind altering substances, and it could just be like, hey, like let's go get coffee and what, like it doesn't need to be like getting fucked up, you know?
Right.
Are you saying
Traditional
coffee is the mind alt?
Like,
yeah, I
like it
guess
could be
is.
coffee, it could be pot, it could be
Yeah.
mushrooms.
You
it
don't
could
need to be doing like
yeah.
LSD trips.
No,
every
that's it.
afternoon.
And like
Yeah.
get some food.
Mike doesn't
like,
do synthetic drugs.
no, yeah,
cool.
I don't
no,
even do.
I'm on that train also.
But you know, so like getting together with people you enjoy spending time with, and then doing a thing that you like doing. And if that's like how you end your Friday night, and it ends at 10, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
can do-
awesome.
I can do nights, like if I am doing a night out, I like to change locations. Like I notice that I need to change locations like every 20 minutes.
Oh, really? You do
So
next
I'll-
venue?
So I'll like do a different venue, or I'll do a lot of like inside outside.
Yeah.
Like I just need to go outside. Like I'll get to the party 20 minutes, go outside 20 more minutes,
Interesting.
switch back
My
out.
go-to thing is there's nothing I love more than going to a social event and finding the most remote, like quiet place where no one is and setting up shop there. And then people always just filter in and out, and I can kind of just like interview people throughout a night.
They come to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that. Or
You are very magnetic.
thank you.
I'll find a dog. Sometimes I'll just find a dog,
Yeah, then you're in the money.
Sit
You're
with the
good. You're
dog.
set.
chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like I actually am stimulated more by one-on-one conversations these days than like group things.
You're like a moth.
I went to a party last night and everyone was dancing and I was just like,
A dance party.
I don't want to.
You in boogie?
I don't know, and I used to love it. It's so weird. I used to love like just like kind of letting the music like envelop me and just like fucking having a time, and I just don't like it anymore.
You ever dance like at home alone?
Mhm,
Yeah,
all the time.
same.
My favorite thing to do is to play Stay by Justin Bieber. This literally, so random, but it's literally like cured my depression, or at least got me. It used to get me out of
I
it.
think antidepressants cured you.
Well, and this song.
and the
Fair.
Beebs.
Fair. So I play Stay, and then I just dance like all my limbs are not attached to me
Oh yeah.
and just like let it all out.
Yeah.
Try it at home, everyone. Let me know what you think. Okay, we have like a few more minutes before we have to wrap up. This was like a very like deep conversation.
It was
We
fun.
did. Yeah, it
And
was
I
really
didn't
fun.
throw up, so.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win. Do you have anything
I
you
could
want
if
to
you want
plug,
me to, though.
Tyler, before we go?
Yeah, check out at Lemco on all the social medias, and through that you could find my art. You could find a very serious show streaming live on many vids every Tuesday night. You could find Busty's Comedy Club.
Doing so many cool stuff.
What's the
Yeah.
porn stuff? Where can we consume your porn stuff?
So you could find clips on social media on at a V Serious Show.
Okay.
And if you want to watch episodes, they stream live on many vids every Tuesday night, and then full episodes get posted like a few days after.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was on a very serious
Yes.
show. And
Maxine
I think
Fields.
that video has more than 10K views.
Maxine Fields is the porn star.
No, that was
Maxine
her
Fields
character name.
Was my character name.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's a very good porn name.
yeah. Oh, we've had some
It's also a
amazing
very
names.
good agent name.
Our guest, it'll happen already by the time this comes out, I assume. But on Tuesday, our guest, his name is the Flesh Mechanic.
Flesh Mechanic. I love that too. It's so visceral. Oh my God. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week and have a good week. Bye.